Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to everyone, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are. It is Sunday, March 8th, 2026, a little bit past 1:30 in the afternoon where I am. I saw The Bride yesterday, which is a new take on or sort of loosely based on Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein, but with a twist and a modern take. It takes place in the 30s. If you've seen the trailers, it's directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. I think it's also written by her. Let me check. Let me check real quick, because I know she's also a producer of it. She's the director of it. Both her husband and her brother. I think she's older than him. Yeah, she's older than him. Yes, I was right. It is both directed and written by Maggie Gyllenhaal. And for those of you who don't know, Frankenstein was written by Mary Shelley on a dare back in 1818. It was back in the 1800s, so possibly during the times of the Victorian era, possibly beforehand. I don't know. In school, they didn't really teach us a lot about history, just the things where they thought were important. But did she know how much of a influence, cultural impact, how much of a phenomenon it was going to be into us? But the point is, I saw The Bride yesterday. Some of my predictions were spot on. For those of you who are watching this and probably don't want any spoilers, well, you know what? Watch at your own risk. If you want to watch it, cool, great. If not, leave. Because I don't want to be blamed for ruining it. So, some of my predictions were spot on. I was right. The detective knew her. I'm not going to say how he knew her, but the detective knew her. Second, it was going to be almost like the Joker, but not so much like the Joker. So Maggie Gyllenhaal and Christian Bale had acted together in a movie that was The Dark Knight. It was a Batman film, and she played Rachel Dawes. And it was directed by Christopher Nolan. It was the second installment of the Batman trilogy, released in 2007. Yes, 2007. Or was it 8? I'm going to say 2007 because I remember watching it in 2007. In the summer of 2007, I remember watching it. Yes, it was 2007. Okay, so they both started in that movie, and who was in that movie? The Joker. Not only that, it had some themes for the regular Joker from the Joker movie that Joaquin Phoenix was in. How loneliness, things of that nature, really plays a part in a character, and how somehow they started a movement, a Bonnie and Clyde kind of movement. Because in Joker, he basically 86 is some guy, well, a few guys who worked for Wayne Enterprise, and Richard Wayne called him a clown, which caused a lot of people to join in. And this one, it was the same thing. It was called Brain Attack. And pretty much they started a movement without even trying to. Also, the young lady who is in the film, who is the bride, I was right. She was a girl who was for entertainment. So I had a prediction about that, and she was right. I had a prediction that Jake Gyllenhaal's character may have had something to do with her death. No, I was wrong about that. I thought Perhaps. I even thought perhaps Christian Bale's character, the monster, had. Because I thought he was watching her. From the way the trailer looked like he was watching her. No. I was wrong about that. Turns out it was something completely different of that nature. I'm going to have to rank this movie at a 6. The reason why I'm going to rank it as a 6 because I will admit it was a lot better than Nosferatu. When I first saw Nosferatu, I was so disappointed. I was even fighting, using all of my might, fighting not to walk out of the theater. It was that bad. I know a lot of people liked it. Okay, cool. I did not. It was so slow. It was like, okay, slow burn and you're building up to it, but it was just like, it was bad. To me, it was bad. I really wanted to walk out of it. It just, the way the trailer made it look like as if it was like it was chaos. It was hell. People were getting sick, becoming things that they shouldn't be. It was all chaos and everything, you know. That's what I thought it was. It was hell. It was crazy. People going nuts and going crazy. You know, evil closing in and everything just to have the girl, you know. That's what I thought it was going to be. You know, making you feel uncomfortable and dread, but you want to see, even if you covered your face and saw it through your hands, you couldn't look away. You just couldn't. That's what I thought it was going to be. Nope. Nope. But in The Bride, it was straight to the. It was like literally the first 5 minutes of the film. It went straight to the point. It went straight into the story. There is a narrator. And the narrator, I won't say who she is, but she plays a rather huge, important role in this, especially in the 1930s. This was during a time where, you know, women back then still did not have their rights, especially in cities like Chicago and New York. You know, women really had to kind of put themselves out there in a light just to make ends meet, especially when they were not allowed to actually have actual jobs like we do today. So there is some norm to that. And also there's a whole, you know, kind of like The Godfather. The Godfather feel without the Godfather feel. Like there's mentions of it, but you know, it's not like they are the main villain. No, they are not the main villain. But also during that time, women who were trying to be successful, they were often overlooked. Which we'll see a lot of that with Penelope Cruz's character. So you will see a lot of that with her. So spoiler alert, I guess you could say. What else? Oh my god. Also, like I said, there is a person who plays a very, very important role in it. And basically she says, this story is the story I wanted to tell, that I need to tell. So I'm going to say it. This movie also has the themes of Never Meet Your Heroes. And there's a good reason. We saw it in Joker. It didn't work out very well. You will see it in here, although I won't say who is who and by who. There is a part where I can't tell if it was all in their heads or if it really happened. And it's because of this sort of influence. That's what I'm going to say. This influence that the characters have or going through. So I think, thinking about it, it has something to do with that influence. Because that's where it wasn't just like, you know, oh, it's all in their head. No, it just sort of stayed there. So I'm taking it's not. But there it is. Also themes of so you have the saying, and it's often used in this film, silence is golden, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Basically, two wrongs don't make a right, so anyone who did speak out were met with consequences, and the whole silence was golden. Everything was okay as long as you kept your mouth shut, when really it wasn't okay. Which is why in the trailers you see the girl go, the dead have something to say, and I'm saying it. I need to say that, and she does say what she says, which you would think would start a whole bunch of things shaking and baking. People who are listening would be like, wait, and then look it up and things like that. Wait, that's true. Whoa, how would she know this? Wait, we gotta look, It doesn't happen like that. Like I said, I'll give it a 6. Because, like I said, it was better than Nosferatu. Some of the things were nicely done. It's just like, I kind of wish we would have seen, I don't know, how's the word, like, not more action, but more of, I don't know, I just felt like some characters were out of the game too quickly, and that, I kind of wish that both the bride and Frankie, that's what he's called, Frankie, I kind of wish both of them had more character development of them independently rather than together as a couple. I wish there was more to it. That's what I wish there was more of, to see them think for themselves independently, because you have to depend on yourself before you can depend on anyone else. But probably because of the circumstances and things of that nature, it's like, you're just like me, I'm like you, we need to stick together kind of thing. That's about it. Excuse me. You do see the bride, get herself in and out of trouble, and it's just like, woman, do something. Do something. Or, don't put yourself in a manner of, don't cause attention to yourself, blah, blah, blah. But then again, the whole movie is about, it's like I said, the whole thing of, bring attention to yourself, you will be silenced. But then again, sometimes you can't be silent. Sometimes you need to say something. So there's what those kind of themes. Go ahead, check it out yourself. See what you guys think about it. Like I said, I'll give it a 6. It was better than Nosferatu. It was, like I said, the straight beginning of it, it's straight to the point. It doesn't go off first slowly and then it goes to a certain part and then pop goes. I thought perhaps this was going to be like those movies where the characters stumbled upon something they shouldn't have and they're paying the consequences for it. Like Cellular, Collateral. Collateral was a good movie. This guy was just a Jamie Foxx's character was just a taxi driver. And basically he's pretty much held against his will by Tom Cruise's character, who is, if you guys watch Killing Eve, oh my god, I don't know her last name, but her name was Jodie. She was in The Last Duel with Ridley Scott's Last Duel with Matt Damon. It stars Sandra Oh, and she's going after Sandra Oh's character Eve. Her name's Jodie. She was in The White Princess. She was also in Dr. Foster. She was in that play, and I was doing a play in New York, and unfortunately there was one time during the showing of that play she had to stop because that was when those wildfires were too much in New York. She says, I can't breathe, I have to stop. So they had to resume it the next day or something like that, or her understudy had to take over. I don't remember. I'm not too sure. I can't remember when it happened. It happened like a couple years ago, maybe back in 2023. maybe, or 2024. It was, yeah, it was pretty crazy during that time. Yeah. So I thought, perhaps the bride something she shouldn't have seen, and of course that's where she is. Nope, I was wrong. Just like I say, it was quick. Let's just say it was a lot of tactics were used to silence. Like I said, that's the theme: silence, silence. Keep your mouth shut, because if you don't, you're not. You're done. Pretty much. But yeah. So go ahead, check it out, see what you guys think. It is what it is. I can't say I hated it, but I'm not gonna say I loved it. It was alright. Would I watch it again? No. Um, I just feel like there were some elements that were missing or could have been better. Um, it was alright. It was like a new take on The Bride of Frankenstein, only this time the bride loves her Frankenstein. In the original one, she did not. She was more of, what is this? Where am I? Oh God, Um, there is a scene where Frankie warns her, hey, blah, 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 warns her, stuff like that. You know, it, it, it's one of those things like, yeah, there were some parts of the movie that kind of raised an eyebrow. Like, was that necessary or am I missing something? But, yeah, like I said, check it out, see what you guys think. The Bride. Like I said, pays close attention. I was happy that it did not take the turn like I was thinking. Cause, I thought it was going to do a constant back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Turns out, no. In some cases, they did, but it wasn't the whole movie. I was like, okay, good. Because if she did that the whole movie, I would have been like, okay, I think I'm done here. I think I'm done here. Oh my god. But, no, she did well. Yeah, so The Bride, go check it out. It was written and directed by Megan Gyllenhaal. Yeah, so it's one of those things like it was very quick to the point, but it was too fast paced. Like I said, I wish there was maybe slow down a little bit so we can understand more of the characters, especially both the bride and Frankie, them as people, as individuals. Because I've always said it, even though you're in a relationship, you're still an individual. It's just certain things when you're in a relationship you can't really be doing, but you are an individual and sometimes you gotta do you. But if you're gonna do you, do it in a manner where, it's respectful and honest. And also, if you're gonna let someone down, let them down gently. Just give them a form of courtesy, even if they're not exactly, who is it? Rough, even if they're rough around the edges, let them down gently. Come on, give them that. And if they give you a hard time because of that, then you know why. Then you go, oh yeah, okay, cool, dodged the bullet, whatever. But yeah, you guys go check out the movie if you like. See what you guys think about it. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I'll give it a 6. It was a lot better than Nosferatu. I just wish there were certain elements that was more explored. And, maybe some elements that we could have done without. But overall, give it a 6, it was alright. Would I watch it again? No. But it's a movie. It's a movie. It's entertainment. It's a muse, it's movies are for sources of entertainment, and amusement. Yeah, and are not meant to be taken seriously. Sometimes they are an echo of real life, or, they take elements from real life and they exaggerate it to give you an escape from real life. So that's just it. So you guys let me know what you guys think. Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think, or if you guys are gonna watch it. Yeah. I'll give it a 6. The Bride, directed by and written by Maggie Gyllenhaal, starring Jessica Buckley and Christian Bale as the starting characters. So, bye.